'Twas the night before training camp, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, only Locked On Anaheim Ducks.
You're Locked On Ducks, your daily podcast on the Anaheim Ducks, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome, everydayers. Thanks for making Locked On Anaheim Ducks your first listen every day, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com and win $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. I'm Kyle Kjer. I'm a lifelong Anaheim Ducks fan. I've spent multiple years covering collegiate sports, but here on Locked On Ducks, all we're talking about is the Anaheim Ducks. That's right, baby. Anaheim Ducks Orange Country is about to be in full swing. Coming tomorrow, Thursday morning. That is September 18th. Finally, training camp is upon us, and it's going to be exciting. However, it is the day before training camp, and there is still no McTavish signing. That's right. There is still no Mason McTavish signing. And I'm not sure if we're going to be seeing one tomorrow on Thursday either. And this is big stuff right here. This is a little concerning, especially with the need for this team to get up to speed and learn Quennville's new systems and everything with this change of coaching staff and really trying to get a main key piece of this core team and get him going as soon as possible. And right now, that is not the case. That's twice now that this has happened with Pat Verbeek. A little concerning. But before we get into McTavish and everything going on with that, looking at the current roster for training camp, there are 54 players in total. That is 31 forwards, 17 defensemen, and 6 goaltenders. On that list, camp invites, these are guys that are not affiliated with the Ducks. They were invited to come to camp, include Matthew Phillips, Justin Bailey, Judd Caulfield, and Nicholas Brouillard. So those guys are invited to camp, so some kind of unfamiliar faces watching them come up. Judd Caulfield, I think we've seen before, obviously with him playing on the San Diego Gulls, but he is a camp invitee. Looking at this roster, though, a lot of good familiar names, and I think we all kind of can see where the main core of the team is. But in the forward group, you got Sam Colangelo, Nikita Nesterenko, Ryan Strome, Alex Killorn, Troy Terry, Chris Kreider, Mason McTavish, Jansen Harkins, Ryan Pulling, Matthew Phillips, Justin Bailey, Nathan Gaucher, Tim Washer, Ross Johnston, Beckett Seneca, Nico Mijatovic, Colson Petrie, Maxim Massey, Igor Sidorov, Ethan Precision, Sasha Pashov, Cutter Goche, Mikhail Granlund, Noah Reed, Jan Misak, Judd Caulfield, Frank Vetrano, Jackson Weeb, Emily Guite, Brady Turco, and Leo Carlsson. And then on the defenseman, we've got Jackson Lacombe, Radko Gudas, Drew Hellison, Nicholas Brouillard, Noah Warren, Stan Solberg, Olin Zellweger, Terrence Smith, Tyson Hins, and our boy Connor Smith. Oh, yeah, your boy, the Rig, Connor Smith, Jacob Trouba, Tristan Leno, Ian Moore, Jeremy Biakabatuka, Alexis Matteo, Daryl Ulanskis, Pavel Minchikov, Lukasz Dostal for goaltenders to kick it off, Kale Klang, Vyacheslav Budiets, Ville Husso, Peter Mrazek, and Tomas Suchanek. So that is the roster going into camp. So all the familiar faces and pretty much everyone that was in that rookie tournament making it into camp here. So it's going to be exciting to see. But with the McTavish, with the big giant asterisk saying that he is a unrestricted or a restricted free agent who is not signed yet, needs to get a contract done. And it really brings up some concern in a couple of areas. One, with McTavish personally not getting engaged into training camp is going to be a big issue for me and just for the team in general. This is not where the focus needs to be. He should be there, ready to get locked in, not having this debate weigh over him, and just let him roll, especially with the new coaching staff and having to get into that. I honestly, that's twice now that Paverbeek has had big core players, and I'm putting core in air marks here, core players that are not signed by the time camp starts. It's twice now, big name guys that you're trying to build a future around that could potentially be the staple of this team in the long run, not having a contract going into an RFA year with camp starting and all over what sounds like at this point is just minutia, little points here and there, just trying to nitpick. So honestly, if it does come out tomorrow, this better be the most mind-blowing, extravagantly well drafted, balanced, like each team and player score massively out of this. Something big needs to come from this contract signing, because right now, to not have it done right before camp starts or even the day of camp starting, now everyone, that's all the buzz is going to be at the rink. And it's just like, what are we doing? What is going on, Verbeek? What's going on, McTavish? It's I just find some even ground. Please put your guys in a room, close it, lock it off like a jury having to decide unanimously what's going on. Shove them in a room. They're not allowed to come out. Hide the key until they send out a signal that says we have a contract signed, ready to go, because this is getting crazy. Trevor Zegras, Jamie Drysdale, they both had their issue of not entering camp right off the hop, not having a contract signed. Now we've got Mason McTavish, a guy who could be the 2C of this team for a very long time. Now he's not getting signed. And then you got to be thinking, as a younger player coming up in this program, and you're looking at the history right now with Pat Verbeek and not signing guys before camp and making it this long, arduous process. Do you even want to deal with that at that point? Like, what are you going to have expectation wise for what the program's going to have for you? Do you feel like you're going to be able to have stability with this team, and that there's going to be confidence in locking down a contract here? And seeing how the cap's going to be changing here shortly, we're going to be seeing an exponential amount of different contracts coming up, different like basically the guys making 6 million right now will be $9 million players in a couple of years. So what is a $3 million contract today would be making $6 million next year. What would be making $6 million right now will be making $9 million next year. And so these guys are going to be looking at that and seeing how the growth is going to be going. And are they going to be wanting to sign a long-term deal or a bridge and try to bet on themselves? Are they going to want to lock up? Like, there's just got to be a lot of question marks being raised in guys that are approaching similar situations to Mason McTavish, and seeing a guy like Trevor Zegras getting traded off, who you think is going to be a staple and cornerstone of the team. Then you see long negotiations coming along with Mason McTavish and him not getting signed. So I know I would be in the back of my mind as a player coming up in this system, I'd be a little concerned and have some question marks around that. So hopefully something gets done here soon. I don't want to see this dragged out. I don't want to see McTavish missing out on camp. I believe he can skate in a non-professional skating environment, so he can go train with the trainers somewhere else or go skate with like a NCAA camp or a junior camp or something like that until he is signed. So not sure if that means he's going to be bouncing out and trying to go somewhere else or just skating locally, but would love to have something done. This is not a good place to be in. I didn't think honestly that we would get to day before training camp without having McTavish signed. I thought we were going to wait, but I did not think it was going to be this long. So, moving on from that, I want to look at what is going to be happening during this training camp and just what we have in store in the next week as fans watching the camp unfold and just kind of what the Ducks have in store for the next couple of days and what they're going to work on. So we'll get into that right after this. Most people can't name all their financial accounts or even what they're worth, whether it's 401ks, properties, or investments. And when you don't have the full picture, you can end up leaving money on the table. That's why there is Monarch Money. It's an all in one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy to use interface on your laptop or on your phone. Monarch is built for people with busy lives. If you've put off organizing your finances, Monarch is for you. Monarch does the heavy lifting for you. You can link all your accounts in minutes, see clear data visuals, get smart categorization of your spending, and finally feel in control of your money without ever touching a spreadsheet. You can identify that you aren't saving as much as you thought. Monarch helps you notice an inefficient investment allocation and discover forgotten 401ks from past jobs. So don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code LOCKEDONNHL at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code LOCKEDONNHL. So now looking at camp coming into tomorrow, Thursday morning, the things that I'm curious about is to see how this team is going to be split up. I saw in the press release announcing the training camp roster and everything going into that, they are splitting the guys into two groups. So there will be an orange group and a black group. And they're going to be one's going to be starting at 11, and then the next one will be, or sorry, one will be I think at 10, and then the next one is at 11:45. And then they're gonna have some other stuff. Each day is different, so make sure you check out the Anaheim Ducks website to get all these schedules and everything going on with in regards to training camp, and then the little fan camp that they have before the scrimmage on Saturday. So now getting into what I'm looking for in regards to on the ice, I think looking at the rookie face-off tournament and development camp and the the little practices before the rookie face-off there, the theme I think we're going to be seeing tomorrow morning is going to be working on foot speed and really physicality and getting that puck up and out of the zone quickly, really working on transitional hockey. Uh, I want to see a lot of smoothness. I want to see the drills running well and that guys are picking it up. A lot of stoppages means guys have to get explained a little bit more. They're not clicking, they're not really picking up what the coach is putting down, and that could be a little bit of a concern. So, looking for smoothness and just drills running through, guys getting it kind of first go ahead and banging through the reps and just having a really good, smooth time. Obviously, you want to be seeing guys smiling out there, having some fun, and really being attentive to what the coach is saying and trying to understand it and just making sure guys are engaged. You can kind of see in their body language whether or not they're engaged and whether or not they're feeling like They're picking on up what's going on, and you can just feel it in the building. So looking for that buzz that we kind of felt this weekend, and really feeling that these guys are there to really get this thing going. And I swear though, if I show up and the first thing that they are doing is doing some drill without their sticks, pushing up on each other in the boards or something without sticks and their sticks are in the corners, I might lose my mind. I will be completely shook if I go in and I see that there is sticks on the ice, guys not using their sticks for the drills. Please, Lord, hockey gods, whoever you pray to, that there is no stickless drills going on tomorrow morning. Please no. But I do want to look at kind of how the line combinations are put together. My preseason prediction of the main lines right now is going to be Cutter Gauthier with Leo Carlsson and Mikael Granlund, Chris Kreider with Mason McTavish, pending signing, and Troy Terry. And then third line of Frank Vetrano, Ryan Strome, and Alex Killorn. The fourth line, I can see like Sam Colangelo, Ryan Pelling, and Nikita Nesterenko. But Quennville gets to come in here, and he literally has a whole new, fresh palette, a brand new canvas right in front of him. All the paints are back in their bottles like you never painted with them before. Everything is fresh, ready to go for him. So he can kind of mix things up as much as he wants. It's going to be intriguing to see if he's going to be trying to mix up age groups or different levels of play, getting guys kind of familiarity with playing, maybe you've got Strome playing with Seneca and Turco or something? Or is he going to be trying to get these lines going as quickly as possible and putting in the matchups that he wants right off the hop? That is kind of going to be something I really want to be looking forward to tomorrow and seeing whether or not he's just trying to get a feel of kind of like a tryout or, initial practice, getting guys out there, seeing how they mesh up, seeing who works well for the first couple of days, and then sticking to something after the first week, after that scrimmage is done? Or is he going to just hit it right off the bat? Boom, boom, boom. These are the lines I'm working with. Get comfortable now. And then we'll start tweaking once the preseason starts. And I want to see a little bit of creativity. I kind of would like to see a mix up of where the lines are now, considering we didn't see a shuffling of the lines pretty much whatsoever last season. So, kind of just seeing what he's coming out with this outside perspective. Even as a fan, you get so used to how the things are set up when you go to a game and when you're watching a game, you know who's rolling in for who, and you just kind of get stuck in that lull, especially when they don't change the lines at all in the coaching during the game. There's no kind of mix-ups or juggles. It'll be really surprising to see with Coach Quennville being on this outside perspective coming in. He has the winning pedigree. He has the knowledge. How is he going to shuffle this up? How is he going to implement his new system, his new tactics? It's going to be really intriguing to see. And I am absolutely excited. I can't wait to really witness and experience the new Ducks and the new energy going on in the building. I think there's so much to look forward to, and based off of how everyone was this weekend, I think it's going to be an absolute electric time. I felt like there was a buzz amongst the fans, amongst the players, amongst the staff, and that's all I can harp on right now, is that there is a different energy than I've felt in the last couple of years, and I'm ready to see that come through in training camp. And I think the guy that's going to be doing that is going to be the captain. And there's some questions that we got to ask about the captain, but we're going to answer them right after this. The NFL season is here, and FanDuel is making sure you are ready for kickoff with a can't miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. I love using FanDuel because it gets me engaged with all these different sports, and I get to really get in on Sundays and enjoy football at a different level. Kind of makes me pay attention to the games a little bit more just before the regular season of hockey starts. So are you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app now by visiting fanduel.com to get started. That's fanduel.com to place your first $5 bet. So yes, the person that I'm going to be really intrigued to see this week is the captain, Radko Gudas. I Some questions that come up in regards to Gudas and how things went the last couple of years, specifically last year. The downgrade in effectiveness that Gudas had towards the end of the season was very noticeable and was talked about amongst fans, the radio, news outlets. There was definitely a warning sign around Gudas. Then there's this weird article coming out saying that he's going to have to get surgery. This is coming from Czechia. And then the Ducks come out, rebuttal, saying, nope, he's not getting surgery. Don't know what you're talking about. He's good. And then finally, after all this offseason, we find out that there was an injury, but after meeting with different health professionals and really evaluating the situation, Radko Gudas decides to go get the injury rehabbed and does more of a natural physical therapy type rehabilitation, works the muscles out, strengthens that area, gets back out on the ice, training out in Czechia, writing books, doing book press releases, skating, getting healthy, just getting back into the home country, getting motivated. Then he comes back out to California, and everything that I've seen is looking good. But the questions we got to ask when it comes to Radko Gudas: one, is he going to be looking sharp? Two, will there be a noticeable difference in his skating, whether better or worse? Three, will he be more physical this year now that he has rehabbed his injury? And four, what type of tone is Gudas going to set in regards for himself and for the team? From what I've heard and seen, I think he's going to be in great condition at the start of camp. It looks like he is skating extremely well, a lot more heads up. His puck control seems a lot more confident, and his ability to recover and get into the danger areas and kind of recover from mishandling the puck, it just seems like his reaction time is a lot quicker. So I think there's going to be a pep in his step. And so that goes into his skating. There will be a noticeable difference, and I think it's going to be better. I think he's going to be buzzing out there. He's going to be looking faster and really being able to keep up with the new speed of the training. And he's going to be the guy out there kind of setting that tone. And then with his confidence kind of coming in with being healthier, feeling stronger on that injury, that is also going to cause him to be flying out there. And the confidence with his puck control, his anglings are going to be a lot better. So I think overall, you're going to see Radko Gudas getting back into his better form, and he's going to be a much more productive defenseman. And there's honestly going to be a resurgence in the physicality between Radko Gudas and Jacob Trouba. And I think getting them mixed in with players like Stan Solberg and now Connor Smith, get these guys kind of reps, get them exposed to each other, teach them the ways of the beast, and really getting those guys prepared for their AHL experience. And then whenever they do break up into the NHL. And when it comes to him coming in, I think not only is he going to be more physical this year with that confidence and with that ability to feel the powerness of his skating improve and his quickness and just kind of feeling overall a better product out there on the ice, that's going to translate into him leading this locker room. I think we're going to see a totally different Radko Gudas coming in and motivating these guys with the experience he has of being on a team with Joel Quennville in the past. He's worked with him before. He knows the way that he works. There's some other guys on this team that have also been coached by Joel Quennville. But as Gudas being the captain, he gets to come in here. He's a super kind, amazing guy, and he's a voice that the guys listen to, and he's going to come in with this energy. I talked about it before with the buzz, everything going around. I just see him absolutely getting them motivated, excited, but also locked in. The buzz around this building, the team, the staff, the fan base, there's just this overall encompassing aura at Great Park Guys 5 Point Arena, around Anaheim, around the different people hosting podcasts for this team, all the different Twitter or X girlies out there. There is an energy that's going around right now. And I think that Radko Gudas is going to absolutely latch on to that and start getting these guys pulling in the same direction, pulling on that rope, getting them in the right mindset. State of mind is going to be locked on with the Anaheim Ducks, all because of Radko Gudas. And by this time, you know that the players and the staff have all met. They've gotten some time to spend behind closed doors, have some office meetings, maybe some Zoom calls, get together for some dinners. I'm sure the guys have already had a team dinner, whether it's official or officially unofficial type dinner, or just the owners getting the guys together. You know, the guys have gotten together and are ready to get going. So they're already having the talks of what the expectations are for this year. It's not going to be just show up to camp all of a sudden, get back together, and you start ho-humming around. We've seen them out there for media day. We saw them, the regular Ducks, kind of doing their stuff around the rink during the rookie face-off tournament. And so these guys are ready to go. And I think Radko Gudas is right here, ready to go. I see him taking this team by storm. There's going to be a new form, new and improved, but old style Radko Gudas coming up, feeling refreshed, getting the guys absolutely jazzed up and working. So overall, McTavish needs to get signed. It's got to be done. The lines in these pairings are going to be absolutely critical and a massive indicator in what Quennville's trying to do, whether he's trying to see how guys do mixed up or if he's just got in his mind who he wants together already and what is going to happen with this roster. And Gudas is going to be the guy right there leading the charge, getting the guys fired up, buzzing, pulling in that same rope and rocking through camp. Preseason is going to be an absolute experience. I cannot wait for the regular season. Everything is finally coming together. So thank you for making Locked On Anaheim Ducks your first listen today. For your second listen, check out the Locked On NHL podcast. There is no off season, bringing you the daily league-wide stories that matter most with the local coverage you love from Locked On. Find Locked On NHL on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. Make sure you go like and subscribe to the Locked On Anaheim Ducks YouTube. Go follow us on social media. Get engaged. Comment on who you are looking forward to seeing at training camp. And as always, I'm Kyle Kjer. Be good out there.